Hey everyone, my name is Monica Martinez, and I am going to be talking about Google Forms in this video. And I know many of you probably are already familiar with Google Forms. As you know, you can send out a form, collect information from your users. Maybe you're doing a quiz or some sort of assessment. Maybe you're just collecting usernames for an activity that you're going to do, etc. Right? Like those are common uses for Google Forms. But today I'm going to be talking about using Google Forms for teaching. Like I'm actually using this tool as a teaching method in place of, for example, using slides as a presentation tool to do a lesson. I'm actually using forms to do exactly that. And I'm going to tell you why. So this past year in 2020, during the pandemic, when everybody was working remotely, school was remote, as I was teaching some courses to teachers on anti-bias and anti-racism work, I found that when we would launch our video conferencing tool like Google Meet, and then on top of that, try and stream videos through that from my computer to everybody else, we realized that it was just too much. The between the video conferencing tool and then the document we had open that we were working on, and then now a video that I'm trying to stream, it was just too much. And it was breaking up for my users. They couldn't hear the audio very clear. It would start to break up a lot. And so they wouldn't capture the full impact of the videos. So to solve that problem, I used Google Forms and basically use this as my teaching tool. So I'm going to show you here really quick. This is just my setup here. I've got my key terms. In this case, we were discussing different vocabulary words that perhaps my users may or may not be familiar with. So I use the description field to add that content in there. And of course, you can use this to put whatever information you need to. And then what I did in the form was because we were looking at different videos as a way to identify bias and stereotypes, etc. We had a lot that we wanted to get through. It was just going to be too much to try and stream them. So instead, I added not a question type, but the option to add a video, which is what you see here as an end result, where I've added a video. And then after that, I added a question type to be able to ask the question that we were going to be discussing. And this way, my teachers that were in this workshop, they had both the video and the question right there and then. So I'm going to show you here really quick what this looked like on the other end for my participants. And this is the view that you get on the phone. So some people had tablets, some people had laptops. I'm using a phone here in this example. Same form, but now from the viewer's perspective, not the one I was showing you earlier. This one is now a viewer, right? So I see the terms, etc. You can add your name there. That was just an option for those that wanted to do that in my class. But here's the page I really, or the section I really want to show you. And that's here where we're looking at the videos. So I'm going to scroll over to a video here. And the idea, as you can see, just above that are some guiding questions that I wanted them to think about and to read before watching the video. Once you're ready for the video, you just simply tap on it to be able to watch it. And on most phones, like iPhones and Android-based phones and tablets, it launches it into full screen. And while on the computer, it might look small, on my phone, it's pretty much consuming the entire space. And once I'm done watching the video, I simply swipe. On an iPhone, you swipe down. On some of the devices, you just tap, but on the iPhone, you swipe down. And it's basically stops that video, or I'm able to get out of that video, and I can now look at the questions once again. I can restart that video, watch it again, etc. And what was great about this was that now people didn't have to watch the videos through my Google Meet. So it wasn't having to stream through that platform. Instead, they're watching it on their own device, which allowed them to be able to get better audio quality. It allowed them to be able to pause and play. I was basically giving my participants, okay, you have 2 minutes to watch this video and silently think through the reflection question. And once we were done with that, then we came back together in the Google Meet to be able to have a discussion now together. But the best part about this was the fact that my users could launch the videos on their own and get really good quality to be able to understand the content that we were looking at. So I wanted to share this idea again with you because it really solved a problem that as educators we have seen be an obstacle most of last year 2020 and even still in 2021, as we still have a lot of kids that are learning from home and that may or may not have the best internet to be able to connect. And so this is a solution in that you can use a phone, a tablet, a laptop, a lot of flexibility in being able to still get the content and learn from what's being shared. So having said all that, I'm going to go over to my Google Drive. I'm going to go to New. I'm going to launch a Google form because I do want to make sure that you know how to do a couple of quick little things that to be able to set up the form the way that I did it there. So we're just going to do a quick demo form. I'm not going to go over all the features. Instead, I want to focus on adding those videos and then following that with a question. So it always gives you sort of this first question type that just it defaults to that. And you'll notice that from the drop-down menu here, I don't have the video option. So I'm going to trash this question because I don't want that, right? Like what I want to do is drop in the video first. So over here on the right-hand side, one of my options here is that little video icon to be able to add my video. So I'm going to click on that. And it'll go here to YouTube where I can do a search for a video. And in the interest of time, I'm just going to put timer 10 minutes here really quick, just so that it finds something for me that I can bring in. But you could either search for your video, or if you have the URL, you could select URL and then just paste the YouTube URL in there. You can add a title to your video. So on my on the examples that I shared with you, I did have titles because in some cases we were referencing certain videos. So I would say, okay, everyone, go to the Pepsi Goat commercial. And that's the one that we're going to look at now. And so having the title was valuable to my users. So you can decide if you want to put the title. I'm just going to say title here just for this demo. And then the three little dots that appear here on the video, I just wanted to point out that this allows you to align the video. So if you wanted to put it in the center, for example, you can click on that. I do like to put it in the center because on the devices, if you're using mobile devices, it sits really nicely in the center of the screen. So I really like doing that. So that's how you do that. Once you have your video, you've added your title, you're good to go. The next thing I'm going to do, which is what I was doing, I'm going to go back here to what I had on the form. You'll notice that I have a question, like a reflection question, just underneath that. So let's get out of there. Let's come back to our form. So next, I'm going to hit the plus button. And this time, I do want to create a like a paragraph type maybe question, or really it might not matter if this is just meant to be, hey, this is what I want you to reflect on. So I'm just going to put reflection question, and then you would add the question there. Okay. All right, and then that's kind of the idea. So I'm going to put this in preview mode so you can see what this is looking like. So there's our video, and then here would be your question just underneath that. So it's that simple to set this up. Again, for me, it was just, wow, like this really allowed us to do what we needed to do, even with the challenges that we were having in a remote environment. And now that we have a hybrid environment, both your students in class as well as those that are at home can still benefit from something like this. So I hope you guys find this sort of hack, I guess we can call it, a hack useful. I hope it allows you to also be able to allow your students to be able to hear those videos with clarity and be able to participate when maybe they before couldn't because of streaming problems. So best of luck. I hope this helps you guys out.